All right, let's jump right in. We often think of the cloud as this massive, powerful, kind of like a digital body, right? But what if that body had a brain? Well, that's exactly what's happening as we speak. Artificial intelligence is becoming that essential intelligence layer, the command center that's learning to manage all the incredible power and complexity of modern cloud computing. You see, the cloud always came with this huge promise: endless scalability, total flexibility, and a real launchpad for innovation. But for a lot of businesses, the reality has turned into a bit of a paradox. That promise has created this labyrinth of different services, budgets that just spiral out of control, and some pretty serious security risks. So, in a weird way, the cloud's greatest strengths have actually created its biggest challenges. So in this explainer, we're going to walk through it all. We'll start with the cloud's growing pains, then see how AI is really the missing brain to solve them. We'll get into how it tames the budget, automates the whole engine, and builds an intelligent security fortress. And then we'll look ahead to our pretty wild autonomous future. Okay, first up, the cloud's growing pains. We're talking about that labyrinth of modern infrastructure. Because all the power of these hybrid and multi-cloud setups has also created this brand new maze for businesses to try and navigate. And here's the real problem at its core. As companies just keep adding more and more cloud services, they lose that single, clear view of what's actually going on. This lack of visibility and control, well, that leads directly to wasted money. Teams can't see which resources are being underused or where costs are just piling up. So what happens? Budgets get blown while expensive servers are just sitting there doing nothing. So if that's the problem, what's the solution? This is where we bring in AI, the missing brain. If the cloud is this super complex body, AI is the intelligence that can actually orchestrate all of its moving parts, turning all that chaos into one optimized, coherent system. The key idea here is something called AIOps. That's AI for IT operations. And this is the practical application we've been leading up to. It's all about using machine learning to automate and improve those critical tasks, like performance monitoring and figuring out where to schedule workloads. It's how we give the cloud the brain it needs to finally run efficiently. So how does this actually work? Well, it kind of breaks down into a simple three-step flow. First, the AI systems observe. They intelligently collect and pull together just massive amounts of data from everywhere. Then, they engage. This is where the magic happens. They use analytics to spot patterns, connect the dots between different events, and alert the right people. And finally, and this is the best part, they act. They automate responses to fix problems before they even start. It's a huge shift from being reactive to being proactive. And that proactive approach, it has a huge impact, starting right with the budget. So in this next section, let's look at how AI really helps tame those out-of-control cloud costs. Just to see the power of AI in real financial terms, check this out. Netflix saves an estimated $1 billion a year. $1 billion. And that's from their AI-powered recommendation engine, which keeps customers from leaving. It's the perfect example of how applying intelligence to a really complex data problem gives you these staggering returns. And that exact same principle applies directly to managing the cloud. And believe me, it is not just Netflix. Look at Siemens. They use predictive maintenance in their factories to save around $300 million a year. Or in retail, H&M used AI to get its inventory right, which led to less waste and a 10% jump in sales. This is happening everywhere, across every industry. So how is AI actually pulling this off? Well, it uses predictive analytics to forecast demand before a big traffic spike even hits. It'll automatically recommend cheaper services you could be using, it dynamically scales your resources up and down to eliminate waste, and it hunts down those idle servers that are just burning cash for no reason. But beyond just saving money, AI fundamentally changes how IT teams work. And that brings us to automating the engine. This is about shifting from being firefighters, constantly reacting to problems, to becoming architects, designing systems that prevent fires from ever even starting. Just think about the old way of doing things. Something breaks, an alarm goes off, and a whole team scrambles to fix it. This is purely reactive. It's inefficient, it's stressful, and boy, is it expensive. But AI completely flips that model on its head. It analyzes all the data to see the subtle, tiny signs of a future problem, and then it fixes it before it happens. This is that huge shift to predictive and proactive management we were talking about. And the impact here is just massive. AI automation can slash manual workloads by 70%. Think about that. It frees up your engineers to actually innovate instead of just putting out fires. It also creates self-healing infrastructure, systems that can autonomously resolve their own issues and make sure resources are always allocated perfectly. Now, let's talk about something absolutely critical: security. Here, we're building an intelligent fortress. We're going to explore how AI isn't just another tool, but it's becoming this adaptive, intelligent defense system for the entire cloud. You know, when it comes to security, speed is everything. A manual response to a threat might take hours or even days. An AI-powered system can react almost instantly, cutting those response times by up to 80%. And honestly, that speed is often the only thing standing between a minor incident and a catastrophic data breach. AI can do this because it's constantly learning. It gives you real-time threat detection that actually adapts to new kinds of attacks. It spots anomalies, like a user logging in from a really unusual location. It continuously monitors for compliance with complex regulations like GDPR, and it proactively finds and helps you fix vulnerabilities before they can ever be exploited. And this level of complexity is exactly why AI is so necessary. I mean, look at a modern hybrid cloud. It has countless interconnected parts, APIs, firewalls, applications, all spread across private and public infrastructure. A human team just can't watch everything all at once, but an AI can. It monitors every single component simultaneously to ensure total security. So, where is all this heading? Let's look at our final section, the autonomous future. This is all about the next wave of innovation, where the fusion of AI and the cloud is going to get even more profound. See, the ultimate goal here isn't just automation, it's autonomy. We are moving towards systems that can manage, maintain, and optimize themselves with very little human intervention. And we're already seeing the building blocks of this future. Edge AI is bringing that intelligence closer to devices for real-time processing. Generative AI is totally changing how we develop software. We're moving towards fully autonomous cybersecurity systems that can literally defend themselves. And AI is even being used to make data centers way more energy efficient, which helps drive sustainability. And all of this leads to a really fascinating final question. When our digital infrastructure can learn to manage, heal, and defend itself, what does our role become? Do we shift from being the operators to being the orchestrators? Do we move from being the builders to being the dreamers who imagine what these new intelligent systems can achieve next? It's something to think about, for sure.